Hello. This instructional video will teach you how to make a basic commercial building structure and shell in Revit 2013. For this project, it is recommended that you have Revit 2013 and a mouse. The taskbars change slightly from year to year in the versions of Revit, and the mouse will help you navigate the model more easily than a laptop trackpad. To get started, we'll first create a new project, use the construction template, and click OK. What we're going to do first is we're going to add a level. So come over here to the project browser, down to your elevations, pick any of them. You'll see that there are levels on the screen already. We're going to duplicate them, and you're going to come up here to the datum section, click level, start over here on the left. These have 10-foot spacing between levels, so we'll keep that 10-foot spacing. Click, drag across to the right. You'll see it line up there. Click again, and it's set. You can then change these levels by clicking on the name, clicking again to bring the name up, and we'll just change this to level 4. It asks if you want to rename the corresponding views. You're going to say yes, and we're going to change this one that says roof to say level 3. Again, saying yes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the level 1 floor plan, again in the project browser, double click on level 1 to bring it up. If you're not already, click into the architecture tab, come over here to the grid button in the datum section. We're going to begin placing grid lines. What you're going to do is we're going to start over here on the left, click, drag across to the right, make sure it lines up, and click again. Add a couple more grid lines down, keep the spacing consistent. So if we use 24 here, come across and place it, we'll use 24 here as well, and add just 2 more. So now that that's done, we're going to add some vertical grid lines as well. Start by clicking at the bottom and going to the top, and we'll use 24-foot spacings here just to keep everything consistent. A good thing to do to keep your drawings a little easier to read is to name your horizontal grids numbers and name your vertical grids letters. So we'll go in and change this, what now says 6, to A, and change them all across the board to B, C, and so on. Now that we've got our grids labeled, that'll help us place columns very easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here to the structure tab next to the architecture tab, click column right below it. It asks what type of column you've got here in the properties. It also asks for the depth. We're going to change that depth to height, and we're going to set this level to level 4, the level we just created. Now to make this go quicker, you're going to click at grids under the multiple section and highlight all of your grid lines. They'll turn blue. You can let the box go. You'll see that they remain blue, under there. That means that they've all been selected. Click Finish. And if you want, you can use this tool here to zoom in and see that they actually have been placed. Click back on Zoom Up to Fit, and you'll be back to your home screen. Next, we'll add beams to the structure. We're going to go back to the Structure tab, select Beam. Once again, we're going to be placing them on grids, but the one thing we do want to change is the placement plane from level 1. We're going to change that to level 2. Select On Grids. Select the whole thing. Once again, they'll turn blue. It'll remain blue once you release. And click Finish to place them. It's going to warn you that they're not visible, but we know that we're just using the level 1 floor plan to place everything since we've got our grids on there. Your grids will also be visible on level 2, but it'll be easier to start here, and then when we go to 3D you'll see the difference. What we're doing now is we're changing to level 3, once again selecting On Grids, selecting the whole grid to place them so that we'll have beams on our second and third, and next we're going to add them to the 4th level. Warned you again, come back up here to placement plane in the taskbar, change it to level 4, on grids, select them all, remaining blue, and finish. So now that we've got our beams placed, we can come over here to the project browser, scroll down to our 3D view, double click it to bring it up, and we've got our basic shell of our building. You can use the zoom and fly tools to fly around and see the different things, but what we're going to need to do is, in order to keep our floor elevations consistent with the top of the floor in the building, we're going to need to offset our beams downward. So click on any beam. Now you've got it selected, right click it to bring up Select All Instances in Entire Project. Click that. They will all become selected. From there you're going to change the start level offset to, in the properties, to -5 inches, as well as the end level offset is also going to be -5 inches. Once you've done that, click Apply, and they will all shift downward by 5 inches. It's kind of hard to see from this view, but what you can do is zoom in, and you'll see that they actually sit below this top of this beam. So that's what we want, so that's good. Zoom all to fit. Now we're going to add floors to the upper levels. So use the project browser to get to level 2. Open it up. We're going to select Floor from the Structures tab. We're going to change our type of floor. Because we used a 5-inch offset, we're going to change the type of floor to 3-inch lightweight concrete on 2-inch metal deck here in the Properties tab. Once that's been selected, we're going to use this rectangle tool in the Draw section to form our boundary line. Start here in one corner and pull down to the opposite corner, clicking each time. Select the green check to create the floor, and while you can't see it, it will pop up blue. Once again, we're going to go to level 3, place another floor here using the same tools. So we go Structure, Floor. It's remembered that our floor was 3-inch lightweight concrete on 2-inch metal deck. Using the rectangle tool again, placing it in the exact same location as our floor from the second floor. Green check, we'll create it again and go up to level 4 to do the same thing to create your floor, which will actually become your roof. So we check that, and now they've all been completed. Now in order to enclose the building, we're going to add walls. So let's go to our 3D view in the project browser, check on our work. You can see that there are now floors on each of the upper levels. So now let's go back to our plan view of level 1. We're going to go to the Architecture tab, Walls, which is right under it. In the Properties tab, we're going to select an exterior wall type. For this building, we'll use brick over CMU on metal stud, which is down here under stacked wall. In the taskbar, let's change the height of our wall to go to level 4 so that the wall will extend all the way to the top of the building. If you'd like a parapet on your building, you may make this condition unconnected and set a height above the height of level 4, which would be 40 feet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change the location line from core center line to finish face interior so that our wall will not run through the columns. Zoom in to an area in an exterior corner to start placing a wall. So we zoom in here. Now in order to start, we're going to click on the outside face of a column. So zoom in a little bit closer. Click on the outside face. Now we obviously need to zoom out so we can zoom all to fit. Come over here. It'll align with the last column. Click. We're going to zoom in again. And once again, we're trying to ensure that our wall does not extend through the column. Click on the outside face of the column and scroll downward to place it even with the edge of this column as well. And then we'll go over to our last column. Place it there. And return to our first column to enclose the wall. Now that we've got our walls completed, we can view it in 3D and see your finished product. Then you just need to go in and add windows, doors, and all your interior finishes. Thank you.